Well, like I said, my buddy Greg over at 3 Dimensions Music, I'll put a link in the description for you. For him, he's great to follow. He's very knowledgeable, and he's the one who's showing me, a reason why I should be watching some what do you call it, record store day stuff, because I didn't pay attention this time, and shockingly enough, of course, I missed something, and it was the new Jaco Pastorius album. That's a 3-album set. It's some kind of beautiful. I'm going to show it to you because I'm so excited about it. I got home from Jesse Carl Music, or Jesse Carl Vinyl is what it's called. Her shop over in Lakeland, Florida. Check her out if you haven't already. I'll put a link for her in the description also. But I called around. I saw that Greg put this video up the other day, and I didn't pay attention to it until I saw it yesterday, and I got frantic because I've got everything from Jaco that he's ever done pretty much. This is a live album, and I'm gonna show it to you in a minute. It was mastered by the Kevin Gray, so that'll tell you right from the very get-go that this is some kind of special. If you didn't know that Jaco Pastorius is an experimental genius, a lot of people don't know what happened to him, and he's from South Florida. He actually lived in Miami. He was Cuban, sadly enough, he was quite an alcoholic, and his main fuel was alcohol, and he got into a bar fight in South Florida, and the bouncer is such a dick, he beat him to death, literally. Some jackass comes face to face with a true genius, and he doesn't even understand it. He's a pituitary case, and he beat him to death. So anyway, you can see that I'm pretty kind of pissed off about it. But anyway, this album soothes the soul and excites the heart. I had to actually make a drink because it was so outrageous. It's beautiful. It's orchestra. It's live. It's everything you ever dreamed of hearing. Live Jaco. I mean, how do you beat that? Here's the album I'm talking about right here. It's called Jaco Pastorius, Truth, Liberty, and Soul, live in New York City, complete with the NPR Jazz Alive recordings, and it's 3 discs. I'll read the hype sticker to you. Right, hype sticker says, new discovery of the Jaco Pastorius New York word of mouth big band in 1982. A startling reminder of how broad Pastorius's talents were. And that's from the New York Times quote. Limited edition 3 LP 180 gram second pressing master by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio, pressed by Levinalist, recorded at Avery Fisher Hall in New York City, part of George Wayne's Cool Jazz Festival. Includes a 16-page liner notes, which I'm going to show you in a minute, with rare photos and 19 writings. There's a lot of writings in here. It's really good. It's complete concert transfer from the original 24 tape at 24-bit /96 kilohertz. Contains over 40 minutes, never aired on the NPR Jazz Alive radio broadcast. It is some kind of a beautiful recording, and I have to tell you, I mean, I've studied Jaco for years, and he never ceases to amaze me. and some of these things are coming out now that he had done before. He was a very well-known studio musician, so he could read very well. It's obvious. He played for people like Joni Mitchell and Pat Metheny. He played on Pat Metheny's, very first album. So that tells you he recognized talent when he saw it. When you get the album, it's like this. And I took the shrink off, and you open it up, and the first thing you see is the master's hands. Then it's a trifold. Again, so I can't hold it all the way across there, trying to, but anyway, look at one at a time. You see this one here, and you see this one here. Polylined sleeves, so they knew to take care of this. And it's breathtaking. I have to tell you, I've listened to Jaco's entire ensemble, all the things that he's done, and this is no short of the greatest I've ever heard him. There are some songs on here he does live that are basically when you're a bass guitarist and you hear them. When you heard these songs on Word of Mouth, which is one of his albums, one of his solo albums, you just couldn't believe what he was doing. And he does them live. It's almost like he listened to another, high-end bass player who said, "Go do this live so people can see what it is." On here he has Toots Thielman. And he's right on point. He's amazing. He's the harmonica, and it's just he's on probably about 4 tracks on this, 4 or 5 maybe. Randy Brecker on the trumpet. It's got a big band sound and then it sounds like straight up progressive jazz, like what you heard from Weather Report. And I thought it was interesting. I was going through this piece here, and he was talking about, and this is the fold out that comes with it, and it's actually really beautiful. There's some really beautiful pictures in here, but there's a lot of information. I mean, most of us musicians, we really like information. We like to read this kind of stuff and see where his mind was and what happened with Weather Report and stuff like that. And he talks about that in here, and he talks about how he made a departure from Weather Report because, his instrument wasn't enough out front. And I'm not saying he said that in an egotistical way. He said basically, which everybody will understand, that Joe Zawinul, who was the keyboardist for Weather Report, was out in front of him all the time, basically, and it got to a point where he was playing. There's Toots Thielman's right there, and it got to a point that he was, Joe Zawinul was actually playing with his left hand all the part for Jaco, and he couldn't get that tone that we all love so much with Jaco. The man was such a genius. This kind of stuff really makes me upset and makes me emotional because we lost a real genius there. I highly suggest you guys go out and get this. It said on the record store day, it said it was limited to 2,000, but on my album it says it's 5,000. So I don't know what it is. It's I've got like 1,620 that is the number on mine, but it's a work of art. That's all I can say. I'll try to do some some needle drops on this in the future. I just wanted to get this out there while I was so excited about it, and I want to get you guys out in front of it, so you can get a copy while there's still one available. They're getting hard to find. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon.